with the Steps Ordered by God Christian Church here in Los Angeles. June 17th. For part 2, we're going to continue our study on this prophetically being the year of the leap. We talked about Ephesians 3:20 being the most perfect scripture we could use for talking about getting up and over a thing, the exceeding abundantly above all that we could ask for. I think I want to give you some specific definitions and talk about the ability of God, that Ephesians 3:20, now to him who is able. That ability of God is the dunamai. And dunamai is important because it has to do in terms of one's own virtue. And virtue is something that I think the church at large needs to understand more about, that virtue. It has more than someone being chaste. You know, virtue is so much more than that. It's a strength, it's an internal resolve to say, I'm going to do this way. I'm going to do this thing. When God gives you something to do, you have to resolve and set your face like a flint. It's that virtue, that dunamai on the inside of you that gives you the capacity and ability to get that thing done. And so we're talking about the ability that God gives, okay? And so this whole year of the leap, getting you up and over a thing, has to do with God by his internal strength. And you know, we look at Ephesians 6. You know, we're strong in the Lord because of the power of his might. But the Amplified, I think, says it beautifully when it says that we're strong in the Lord because of our union with him. And so we're tied in a oneness and fused together with him. And so his strength is our strength, see? So he's all the while effectually, Philippians 2:12-13 in the Amplified again. He's all the while effectually working in us, creating a will and a desire and an inner resolve and a virtuous inner strength to say and be resolute and stick to that thing like a dog after a bone. Stick to itness, that consistency, that tenacity to never give up. That's that virtue. Amen. And so now unto him who is able to do exceeding abundantly above all that we can ask or think. And I love that whole concept, because what can you imagine? Our minds are not limited to this three-dimensional realm. We could be in Paris in a moment just by imagining. I see myself in Paris. I love Paris in the springtime. Okay, excuse me. I'm back now. But our imaginations can take us, you know, to places, uncharted territory, and God is tapping into that capacity that he's given us. He said, how much can you dream? How much can you imagine? How much can you imagine? Well, it's beyond that. Because the exceeding abundantly above, let me give you a few definitions for exceeding. For example, it's the word huper in the Greek. And it means over, beyond, more than more. Beyond. I love that word, because if I look at that word long enough, I see the word obey in it. See, in order to get up and over a thing, we have to obey God. So obedience is connected to him getting us up and over a thing, because he'll give us instruction. And they may be small instructions. Remember, we said in our previous lesson that the technical leap that's done in the dance, there are a few small running steps. And then this bending of the knee, which is the barak, really, and it's symbolic of prayer and worship. And it's the thing that gets us up and over, but we must obey God. So being able to operate in the Ephesians 3:20 blessings requires obedience. Obedience is a key. And so now to him who is able, that's capability, that's strength, it's power, it's favorable circumstances. So now we're dealing with the law of favor, which we're crowned with. But favor and obedience are walking hand in hand. We have favor with God and with man when we do what he does, when we please him, when we pleasure him by obedience, by obeying what he says to do. Okay, so we've got those elements involved. Okay, now we want to get up and over thinking God has given us instructions, and sometimes we don't follow those instructions because we're distracted or discouraged or depressed or doubting God, all the D words, you know. We're down and out about it. We're mad at somebody over it, you know. Let me go to the M words. No, I'm going to stick with the D words. You know, are we dumbfounded behind the thing? There are a lot of things that get us off in terms of obeying God and following what he says to do. Sometimes we're just in rebellion. We don't want to do it. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. That's rebellion. nothing. It's not going to do any good. So we have to have courage to kind of face some of our weaknesses, and that's what he's going to confront us in this moment with the weak areas. And we have to take courage and say, okay, you're right, and own it. You're right, God, I did it. That's an area I've been ignoring you in that area, and I've been asking you to do this for me, but I've been ignoring you over there. And I said this, and God told me this once. He said, the reason sometimes I tell you no, and he's talking to all of us, but the reasons I tell my people no is because they told me no at one point. And it's not that God is vindictive, but it's just that your yes or my yes to him in that moment would have equipped us for his yes further down the line. So he's the God who sees ahead and makes provision for us. And so he's dealing with us in this moment in particular areas. We want to yield to him, and we can, because we got that inner strength, because of our union with him, to be able to tell him yes. When it's time, it is. We can always do it. He's never going to ask us to do anything beyond our capability. I love my little bird. My bird is like, yeah, preach it! Unto him was able to do exceeding abundantly above all that we could ask or think according to the power. Now that's the dunamis. And that's inherent power residing in a thing by virtue of his nature. It's very similar. But it has to do with that explosive miracle working power. That explosive miracle working power that's on the inside of you and me, but it must be activated, okay? So I'm going to go with that. Also, I want to talk about the word abundantly. In the Greek, it's the word chorissos, and it means to exceed a number, a measure, or even rank. Some of you, God has to get a greater level of weight and rank on you in the spirit in order to use you to push a greater level of rank in the demonic out the way. Superiority, extraordinary, surpassing, and uncommon. Those are more definitions of the abundantly. Exceeding abundantly. Above all. Now let's go on over to Psalm 18 and look for a moment at what God spoke through the psalmist on the leap. Psalm 18. The whole psalm is amazing. If you have a chance, if I were you, I would take a look at the entire psalm and just sit with God on it. Just sit with him as he's getting you up and over a thing in this hour. Look at Psalm 18. Okay, so this is to the chief musician, Psalm of David. So David penned it, and then he released it to the chief musician, to bring it forth. And I think what we want to do is we want to get to verse 29. But let's start at, oh my goodness. Let's start at 28. For you will light my candle. The Lord my God will enlighten my darkness. For by thee I have run through a troop, and by my God have I leaped over a wall. And so that wall is symbolic of barriers, things that we haven't been able to break through and get our breakthrough. We say that a lot in Christianity. But there are walls that have divided us from the blessing of the Lord that makes rich, he has no sorrow with it, from the destiny that we must get through, from information that we must get through. We've got to break down those walls, those barriers. So it's by our God that sometimes we